Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Coons, one of the reference librarians at the Haverford Township Free Library, here with Monday's Reading with Reference. And to celebrate our curbside pickup service that we're offering starting today, this week we thought that we would focus on titles that are in the library. So, and you're going to notice as I'm scrolling down, it says unavailable. That's just because we had to mark it that way over the time that we were closed. So many of these items are going to be available. Many of them might be returned even, but the stuff that's marked unavailable is actually in the library. It's just sort of marked that way. So just a heads up about that. Okay, so on to my reviews. I want to talk about two books, one of which I've read, one of which I'm hoping to read. The first book I want to talk about is by Michael Eric Dyson. He's a professor of sociology at Georgetown University, has written many books about race in this country. And this first title is called Tears We Cannot Stop, A Sermon to White America. And for me, learning about the past and learning about people who aren't like me just helps me better understand what is happening in the world today. It helps me gain context and just a broader sense of where I fit in. So this book was released in January of 2017. And again, the book created a much greater understanding and context for me. It is written in the form of a sermon. Of a Black preacher to his white congregants, basically, asking hard questions, asking white people, especially white people who feel that they are not racist and nice and liberal, to really look at how they might be silently complicit in injustices that are occurring in the world, in our country particularly. So one of the things this book did was it just gave me this sense of the breadth and depth and richness and just information that I never knew, that I was never taught in school. And there is a lot more that I don't know and should know and want to know. So I'm continuing to read, but this book gave me an introduction to that. And I just feel like as an American, it's important for me to understand these things because this is my country and I want to know how I fit in a lot of different ways. Anyway, so the book, again, like I said, asks hard questions. He's coming from a place of grief, actually, for African Americans in this country and what they've endured and what they continue to endure. So again, he's able to ask these hard questions with love because it is a sermon. He refers to his congregants as beloved often. I listen to this book. He reads it, and I recommend listening to it if you like audiobooks, if you like that format, especially because the author is he just reads with a lot of passion. So it's available in audio CD form, also in digital audio. It's available if you wanted to put it on your device, and it's available in book form as well. The next title I want to talk about is by the same author, Michael Eric Dyson, still writing about race in America. And for a jumping off point for this book, he is taking an incident that occurred in 1963 where Robert F. Kennedy, who is currently serving as Attorney General of the United States, called in a group of Black thinkers and leaders and entertainers, including Harry Belafonte, Lena Horne, James Baldwin, a freedom writer, RIDER writer, civil rights activist Jerome Smith. And what he wanted to do was have a conversation with them about policy and he wanted their perspective on segregation and discrimination. And instead of a polite, deferential conversation that he was expecting, there was a lot of passion and a lot of anger. And particularly Jerome Smith had just come off of a beating that he had endured by white supremacists. So he was in pain, in physical pain, and also in just psychic pain. And they really actually wanted Mr. Kennedy to be more of a witness to their experience and to try to help them understand what their experience was living in this country as Black people. So So Michael Eric Dyson, the author of the book, uses that as a jumping off point to discuss activism, activism in 2018, when around the time the book was written. And he talks a lot about how activism is often taken in the form of entertainment and athletes, through artists like Beyonce and Jay-Z and Jordan Peele, the filmmaker. And he also talks about how different athletes of color have also tried to raise awareness about injustices. So this is one that I'm looking forward to reading. It is also available in audio. We have it at Haverford, book on CD. I don't know why it says due 7/22/20, but it's probably going to come back soon because we had to extend due dates. So the due dates also look a little bit, when you look in our catalog, some things are going to look a little funky, but it just has to do with the stay-at-home order and what we had to do at the library to accommodate that. It's also available as an ebook, not an e-audio, but an ebook, and also e-audio. So looks like we don't have it. Yeah, so it's available in a digital book and also digital audio, but we also have it as a CD that you can take out. And I do recommend listening to Michael Eric Dyson speak his words that he writes, because it's very compelling. So those are my suggestions for this week. Thank you for being with me, and I look forward to meeting with you again next week to tell you about more great books that I'm reading and hope to read. Bye-bye.